Hello, welcome to the Help Me Help You podcast. This week, we're going to be talking about some pretty interesting stuff. I'm here with Brayden.
Hey.
And Ethan.
Off the stage! Hey.
How's it going, everyone? Hope your week's been good.
Good.
Just
Doing good.
well. How's your
Lovely.
week?
It's been okay.
Oh, dang.
Nothing too special, you know? Just a typical week. Wow.
That's good.
Some crazy stuff has gone down this week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
With you?
The, no. With the Environmental Protection Agency.
Oh no.
So, give a little bit of background here. During the Trump administration, he lightened up on the regulations of perchlorates, like ammonium perchlorate, sodium perchlorate, stuff like that, which have very severe effects upon infant development. Now, he basically made it so that it wasn't a priority test for drinking water whatsoever. Now, the Biden administration was trying to turn this around ever since he got elected, and the EPA yesterday decided that they will not be changing their level of public concern for perchlorates in drinking water. Now, to me, I think that the development of the thyroid gland in the development of a fetus is pretty important. What do you guys think?
Man, you had me at 8.
Oh man.
I mean that's a whole big thing. I don't know much about the whole history of the EPA's perchlorates and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, I know thyroid glands are important.
Yeah. It according to multiple studies, children who have been exposed, or women who have been exposed to perchlorates during pregnancy, and children who've been exposed at a young age, have brain development issues, measurable drops of IQ, and just overall health defects of the mental status.
Okay.
You know why we don't, or do you know why that was their decision not to change it?
Because they said that the they said that the perchlorates are not found widely enough in drinking water to be a level of public health concern.
Nice.
Basically saying that perchlorate existence is only in specific locations, and because of that, they shouldn't even check for it in most cases.
Well, how expensive would it be for them to expand testing?
Not much. It's a fairly simple little test. It's just another strip that they'd have to dip when they're doing tests.
Is there a particular American industry that is associated with the production of this chemical?
The military
Oh,
and space exploration.
Well, they lost
That'll do
Ethan's
it.
vote. But is this? I mean, realistically speaking, is this something you're gonna see in water a lot?
According
There
to them,
were multiple runoff issues in 2011. This is the only time that I have a number on it. This was when the Obama administration instilled these regulations. They said in a after testing the water that it was affecting over 16 million American homes.
Nice.
And I'm just going to put it out here. Pretty radical view. I think that the Trump administration tried to get rid of it because the Obama administration was the ones that started it. His
Maybe.
whole little anti-Obama rampage he went on. You know.
I don't know.
Purge the bureaucracy.
Didn't for like the first half of his first term, he was like just trying to get rid of everything Obama did.
Honestly, forgot about
Yeah, there's
all
a
of
lot
that.
about
That's
his administration that I've both purposely forgot and just have. I've not been part of it.
I
There's
don't
a lot of
know.
it I didn't listen to. Most of the stuff I
I
know about the Trump administration, I just heard on the radio one day.
I imagine that you have. I mean, because like if you look at the sort of agenda of a lot of it, it's very like pro larger business stuff.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
imagine removing the testing for X chemical probably does line up pretty well with that, whether or not it's an Obama era policy. To throw a little, or rather to put some possible light on it.
Do you know if it's a problem? Do you know if other countries have done anything with it, or is it just a U.S. issue?
I do not know. I have
'Cause that could
not
be something.
looked into other countries, but I would assume that an amount of the European countries test for it. I mean, I couldn't say at all anything of the affirmative or negative.
I feel like that's something that we like the U.S. public. I don't really know how it is in Europe, but I feel like that's something the U.S. public in general is not very well aware of. Is like standards of other countries' water.
Yes, it's true. I mean, I know basically nothing about European country and other countries' standards for water testing. I mean, it's probably one of those things that most people put down to, oh, America best, America very good. We don't need to compare to other countries. Why would we ever do that? American public schooling system, teach everyone America's the best country in the world instead of teaching them ways that we could improve.
I do know, on the topic of water quality, I mean, me personally, I don't know much about any water quality stuff. It's just really not an area of fascination for me. But I know I was going through a list of like most socially advanced countries, and one of the score categories is like clean water, right? And it kind of goes hand in hand with other stuff on there, but like for top water treatment and quality in the world, like 12 different countries are tied for first.
12?
Makes sense.
That's a lot of countries. Were most of them like what were
They
do
were,
you remember any?
Now this was, I think it was a 2019 thing, so it could have changed, but I think all the Scandinavian countries were on there. And I can't, it was all European countries though.
I believe Japan scored a little low.
Yes, I believe they did. Although, I mean, that was I probably looked at it about a week ago.
Yeah.
So
I think that's something we're pretty good at, all things considered, actually. We have pretty good. I mean, other than the few renowned places in the United States where you're told, like, yeah, don't drink the water here, it's not good. We're like, during the size of our country, like, tap water is available, right? And you go down to Mexico, that's not the case. Like my dad, when he goes on work trips, He's been to Mexico a few times, and he's been told that he has to bring water or bottled water or buy water. If you're not a local, right, the things in the water, they're not the best for you. I think there's what is it? It's when you go to Mexico City specifically, you're told like to brush your teeth with bottled water because if you use the tap water, is that what Montezuma's Revenge is?
As I say, is it Montezuma's Revenge you're talking about?
I think
when
so.
I went to Puerto Rico, it was the same thing. It was use bottled water for basically everything.
Yeah, so that's what Montezuma's Revenge is caused by a bacteria strain that native Mexicans are immune to.
Huh. I was gonna say I was gonna ask if it was an immune thing next,
and
actually.
it's drinking water or eating food, it says, but
I know I hear mostly about it from drinking water though.
there's also Deli Belly.
What is Deli Belly?
Let me see. I don't know. I mean, I imagine it's something. It's probably in the same vein as Montezuma's Revenge.
Probably.
Oh, excuse me.
There's also the Nile Runs.
Mm.
It's
Do you think...
okay. This is a thing called traveler's diarrhea. That's like its broader term.
Nice.
Well, I imagine it's just a foreign bacteria, which is obviously a really broad term, but some kind of foreign bacteria that your body's not used to that you consume, and it causes diarrhea.
Yeah.
It might be a strain of E. coli. I think.
Maybe.
Lovely. And we all just love fecal matter transmitted diseases.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
I think so.
One of my favorites.
Well, there's bad and good E. coli though. Well, good meaning it doesn't give you the disease.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, it's one of the top genetic testing bodies out there.
E. coli is a big deal.
It's a big deal. I'm pretty sure we've laid out the genome of E. coli millions of times at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of which, I mean, I don't know much to delve into this, but I saw today on a news headline that they finally finished entirely decoding the human genome.
That's an
I thought that was like a 2016 thing.
There was like some other things that they like hadn't figured out. They say that it is complete. The like multi-decade process has been complete.
That's interesting. I actually thought it was already done.
I thought we were like years lost.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was like, man, that seems like a really big deal.
Because I know in either like early high school, late middle school,
It was middle school. They talked about it. Miss Cox talked about it a lot when they were like, "We did it."
Yeah, but I just assumed that meant they like cleared it up back then.
Yeah, there's apparently a few things with like just kind of more standard stuff that like they didn't really prioritize. But also I think there was a couple like special case stuff. I mean, I don't have that article pulled up or anything. I didn't research that article, as that was not what I was planning to focus on today, but it came up.
I know that they were doing a lot of stuff with protein folding and whatnot. I like it was a big like, because I think it was I want to say it was like maybe even junior year of high school. They had like we all went to the computers in like the media center, and it was like do this activity, and it basically was having us fold proteins to try and find new proteins. Like the idea of it was to make it a game. so that people could do the work of making new proteins, right? And there were it was coded so that certain things couldn't happen, that certain like so that the different bonds that can occur to help fold proteins can occur and whatnot. So I don't know if they ever got anything out of it. I never heard anything about it after that, but it was
The
kind
only
of
thing
cool.
similar to that I ever did was there was like this big website with like a taxonomy tree, but it was definitely not them collecting data from us.
I don't know if, and none of, a lot of us were like struggling to try and figure out how the whole thing worked, because it's like we don't know. We're sitting there and we're not thinking like, oh, like there's a hydrogen bond between this specific one, but this one bond's this way, so we got to get it to work like this, and then we'll make an alpha helix or whatever. I forget if it's alpha helix or it's alpha helix and beta sheets. I think I don't remember.
Something.
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
But I nobody really, I don't think anybody really got a big protein all done.
Yeah. Man. Did y'all see the stuff about the House voting on a marijuana bill today?
I did.
Yeah,
That's
it was 200 to 204, I think. And it passed in favor of the legalization of marijuana, but it's currently expected to not be able to pass the Senate.
Yeah, I was gonna
So,
say it's. I doubt it'll get through the Senate.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I read it, I read this earlier today. I was surprised that they were going to expunge convicts' records
Yes,
of
I did
cannabis
see that.
offenses. That was like,
That's
whoa, like
big. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
And it would take a ton of like time for judges because they had to resentence them, is what I read. Because
Ooh.
they had to, because like if it's extra charges and they need to like go under more investigation and all kinds of stuff, it will take a long time for those people to
Yeah.
get actually out, even if it does fully pass.
Adds on to the bureaucratic hellscape.
Yeah. And there will definitely be a lot of people that get stuck under the rug.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Oh, probably. I mean,
Yeah.
Fortunate. Well, I mean, at least it means it won't continue happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the getting sentenced for possession and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's convicted of non-violent
marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I was actually wondering about like before. I didn't know that it was going to be a gradual thing. I was thinking, it's like, man, what does that mean? Are they just going to like how many hundreds of thousands of people are they just going to release? I'm like, whoa, that's, I don't know, that's a good idea.
that's a lot of people at once if you were to do it that way.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
okay,
think
guys, free to go.
I don't think logistically you'd be able to do that either.
No.
Well, I mean, if you really want to go like the bare bones approach, you look at what everybody was sentenced for. You send out a communication to each prison, and you and you just say, okay, you can walk out of the prison now.
Yeah.
If you really want to get at the like absolute bare bones strategy for how
presidential
you get to
letter. President writes a handwritten letter to the warden of each prison.
That'd take forever. There's a lot of prisons.
There are a lot of prisons. And does this count for private? Are there private prisons? There are private prisons, right?
I think there's still
there's like private and public prisons, aren't there? I remember this was on the political alignment quiz. Is like, do you support public prisons? And now I'm thinking about it. I don't actually know if there are public prisons or private prisons, rather. I hope there are public prisons.
I figure there's public prisons.
Oh man.
I'm surprised this got through. Like, I'm surprised that got through along with everything else, right? To
This
not
isn't
only
the first one either. There's
no,
been multiple that have tried to get through the House, and this is the first one that's actually passed through the House.
that's good. I think.
At least for a legalization thing. There was another thing about like reducing sentences or something,
Mm-hmm.
but that didn't make it through the Senate. It was used as an example by Fox News to say that it wouldn't get through,
Mm.
that this MORE Act wouldn't get through the Senate. Speaking of Fox, they tried to compare marijuana to heroin and LSD, saying that they were on the same page. That they
No,
are.
well, they're just quoting the FDA standards because they have it as a what is it, a Schedule 1, right? And a Schedule 1 is like it has no medicinal value and it's highly it's like has a high potential for something,
High potential
addiction.
for abuse.
Yeah, whereas apparently the Schedule 2 through I think goes up to 5 maybe, that's they all have medicinal purposes or can have medicinal
Mhm.
purposes, so they're treated less.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is definitely it's a very challenged stance. I know.
Yeah.
I've seen even Republicans have I've seen videos of was it Trey Gowdy, I think he's I think he's something for South Carolina. He was very against it being a Schedule 1 drug,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is fair. I don't think it should be a Schedule 1 drug.
Well, no, I mean, because with all the because you used to have like the CBD people who are purporting like they're saying like, oh, all these
Like, oh, it does
there are all
everything.
these health benefits, which
You take it once and it'll cure your cancer.
yeah, whatever,
All
but
that kind of shit.
it doesn't help that you, because it's Schedule 1, it can't actually be researched for medical
Yeah, there's a lot of high
There was
applications.
really
another
heavy
bill
restrictions
that,
on it.
I mean, that this one got through the House, but it didn't make it through the Senate. This was another one just a couple months ago that was about research of marijuana for medical purposes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure that it's that you're not allowed to research
Oh, no,
stuff
you're
that's
not.
Schedule 1.
You're not. I watched a documentary about this once, actually. It was talking about the medical applications of marijuana as studied by other countries.
Wait.
But none of the evidence was admissible to the FDA and stuff like that because it was a Schedule 1 drug in the United States, and it has to be like United States sponsored
Mm-hmm.
studies or something like that for the FDA.
Hmm.
And they were like seeing all these medical benefits, which I I I have my own opinions about marijuana, but the the implications that you can't research something because it's like, I think you should be able to research anything. I don't think anything
Yeah.
should be entirely banned from research.
Well, I
What,
mean,
what do you like? What like what
I
are you
don't think
saying?
you should be like performing live dissections on people. I feel like there's a
Well,
place to draw a line there.
There's a
then what's
place
an
to
open
draw.
heart surgery where someone is awake, or a brain surgery where
Dang.
someone's awake?
That's
What's
true,
that then,
but
Raiden?
that's a little different than like a
You can
terminal
get rid of their
surgery on
pain.
somebody.
Well, I guess so. But like, what if
Someone
they're
had to
already
do it.
gonna die?
Someone had to go out on a limb and try it the first time to know that it could be done in a second. So
Yeah. What if somebody is already terminally ill? Should we be allowed to get their consent to do
do whatever.
terminal procedures on them for research?
Ooh.
That's an interesting question. I mean, you can talk about
it had to
the
be
whole
completely
right to die or whatever it's called, like
the
self-elected
dying with
suicide stuff.
dignity
Mm-hmm.
is the
And
thing.
I feel like you have to go there before you can
Ohio or
step
something.
up to performing terminal surgeries on the terminally ill.
I know for a lot of people who get stuck in the queue to get like organ transplants will occasionally go to other countries for experimental procedures. Like I know there's a lot of Swiss stuff where people go to Switzerland because they have really lax laws on that.
Ethan, are you about to make a statement about how people in Switzerland are clocks or something?
No, that
No,
was all
that's my
Braden's
thing.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
my
It's a
thing.
Braden thing,
Yeah.
right?
The
Clockwork.
Swiss clock people.
Swiss clockwork golems. No, a lot of people go to if you know what phase treatment is,
No.
it's basically like bacteriophages, which they're like viruses for bacteria, right?
Yes. I know this.
There's a lot of people go to Georgia. I say a lot of people go to Georgia, but people
This is
who
the
have a
country
lot of
Georgia,
money,
by the way,
the
just
country
saying,
Georgia, yes,
for
the
people
country
don't
Georgia,
think, yes,
not the state Georgia.
You gotta
Go there to get phase treatment because basically, I mean, it's realistically, it's the future of treating
medicine.
sicknesses, especially with antibiotic resistance the way it is.
Yeah.
Like you can go, and if you have, I don't know, I'm just gonna pick one. Like if you have diphtheria, which it's obviously not something you're probably gonna get in the U.S., but I'm just picking a disease. If
Yeah.
there is the right phage that attacks diphtheria, and you're out of options, like let's say it's like a completely antibiotic resistant, and you have a pretty large chunk of money laying around, you could go get phage treatment, and the phages will kill off the diphtheria.
Do you think
I know.
that
I
if
think it's
we
really cool
start
though.
using this widespread like we do antibiotics, we will begin encountering the same barriers that we get with antibiotic resistance, but with like bacteriophage resistance?
No, and I will say I don't know. I obviously am not an expert on it, right? But they've existed for millions of years and they've been relatively stagnant. I mean,
but you're not directly introducing them into the environment
well,
of
no, I
those
mean,
bacteria. Like it's not like the bacteria would just encounter it every once in a while instead of encountering
well,
a
no, I
ton of
mean,
it all at once. I mean,
I know I saw the statistics somewhere. It's like every day bacteriophages kill like 80% of all the bacteria in the ocean or something crazy like that. Like it's fairly widespread.
I see.
I know
Okay.
it's very I mean they're fairly simple organisms, right?
And I never claimed to be a biologist, so I'm way
Yeah,
out of
I
my
mean
league here.
I'm just kind of I mean, I don't know everything there is to know about it. I know a little tiny bit. But from what I've seen and read, there's not a high likelihood that, because I mean they're kind of purpose built, right? Obviously, they've evolved to where they are specifically targeting one kind of organism from what I know, right? And they've kind of evolved to be the perfect killer, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe there is room for somehow a bacteria to develop something, but I mean it's such a high mortality rate that I think it'd be really hard for that to actually happen.
Yeah. Well, maybe this could be the new magic medicine of the future,
I will
Like,
say it's hard though to convince people to put what would you could call a virus inside of you to kill a sickness. I mean, I could definitely see people being kind of leery about that one. Even though, it can't interact with your cells at all.
Yeah.
You just gotta brand it right.
Yeah, you could.
It's true. You can market stuff. Although
But-
some media person
Yeah.
will be like, it's a virus. You're gonna end up getting tumors in your eyeballs, and then
Someone
someone's
will-
I have a
gonna, then
feeling-
people are gonna go crazy. It's gonna be like the freaking stuff with the horse dewormer or the ivermectin. It's gonna explode. Somebody's gonna falsely publish a medical journal or something, and then people are gonna have a damn heart attack.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Brandon and I are thinking of the exact same person.
Exactly.
Good old Tucker Carlson. Let's do this.
Yes, he would. He absolutely would. I
Oh,
can
man.
freaking,
would go on
see
a
it.
jump
I
on the
would-
I
narrative.
feel like if penicillin
I-
was invented with him around, he would have had horrible, horrible opinions about penicillin.
A mold in my body. No, I think he'd be. I think if he wasn't serious, he'd be a really, really great comedian.
Probably.
He's kind of funny.
Be
to
better than
listen
Amy
to
Schumer at
sometimes.
least.
Oh, I don't know Amy Schumer really.
That's
I
a good
heard
thing.
about Amy.
Yeah,
I
it's a
heard
good
about
thing
Amy
because
Schumer
it's-
when everybody was like, "Oh, she's not funny."
She's not
but-
someone to endeavor to know.
I
Speaking of those types of people, do you remember
Oh my
Sarah
gosh.
Palin running for president against Obama back in the day?
Oh my
I actually don't
God.
know which election. I don't know if it was the first or
No,
second.
I don't.
I truly don't remember
that.
She
this
was
at all.
No, she was vice
In
president.
fact, I don't know who you're
wasn't she?
talking about.
Sarah Palin.
No.
I think Sarah Palin ran as VP with John McCain against Obama.
Oh my God, John McCain! Holy
And
cow, that was a
she
while ago.
She was the governor of Alaska. She's the person who said, "Russia's in my backyard." I don't remember this funny quote. Anyway, she resigned from being governor, and today or this week, I don't know when, sometime recently, she's running for Congress.
She's
We're gonna see
reemerged.
Sarah Palin. And Jackson, if you don't know who Sarah Palin is, then we might end up if she wins. There used to be, you know what Bushisms are?
Like
They're
George
like when
Bush?
George Bush would say something that just made no sense.
Oh.
They were the equivalent of Sarah Palin. Like, she's an interesting individual.
I think we could apply
No.
the same thing to Taylor Green.
Oh my gosh.
Jewish space lasers.
I have so many things to say about her.
Oh. Ethan, what was the name of that guy that she went to a rally for?
I don't know if we want to even say it. I feel like
there's a serious
yeah.
enough danger of that. I don't want people to figure out who that is if they have any inclination towards.
He's a neo-Nazi.
There's a
basically.
relatively young, semi-charismatic man who is pressuring for a white ethno-state in the United States who, what's her name?
Taylor Green.
Taylor Green,
Who is a U.S. congresswoman.
Mhm.
Her and
think
another
the
Republican
representative,
went
right?
to one of his meetings, like rally. I don't know what you'd call it. He set it up. It's like a conference, and where he said his outstandingly racist ideas that got standing ovations.
He was going to take
and to be
back
fair-
America for the white man.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's a really good speaker too. Like, it's
Oh, yeah.
kind of scary.
It's scary. It's like it's a Hitler
Very
type.
charismatic. Very charismatic. I mean, when I was listening to it, I even got some feelings.
Oh,
Oh my-
Jesus Christ! Of course you did.
I'm
Gosh.
kidding,
But anyway,
joking, not
Yeah.
serious there.
she's a scary woman, not necessarily in the sense that she's powerful or smart, but because she just happens to be in a position of power. not that she's inherently powerful. It's just she's there.
I wonder what
and has
people
some
who
very
like.
choice views.
I wonder what people who like Taylor Green like see in her.
Do
Like,
they?
what
Does
is-
anyone?
I don't know. I
know.
find it hard
I've
to
never
like any
found anybody who-
politician.
Yeah,
There are definitely people that idolize politicians. Trumpers. What?
true.
But
Trumpers? What
Yes,
is?
they
I've never even
idolize
heard
Trump.
that term.
you
They-
don't call them Trumpers?
No,
That's
I
what
don't
we
really
call
call
them
them
down here in the
anything.
East and
I just
the
call them.
Florida
Yeah,
South.
I mean,
There's definitely like a cult of personality around him,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which, in my opinion, any cult of personality is something worth being cautious
concerned,
of,
yeah.
fearing. Yeah, because you don't want it to get too powerful, too strong. Because then you have people who will try to justify radical acts on his name. Case in point, Capitol riots.
Oh,
Mhm.
jeez.
Right, where even
Yeah.
if he isn't necessarily responsible, you still have people who they all claim is that they're all saying they are just following his word, his message, and they end up doing something. And it's like, oh well, I don't really know, and he has to backtrack.
There's a period of like 11 hours during the Capitol riot that the White House and the FBI have no accountability for his phone calls or communications whatsoever.
I don't
I
know.
heard about that, but at the same time, I don't necessarily know because he like giving a speech like
He
15
was
minutes
doing a
before that
speech
happened.
thing,
Yeah.
and he said for people to peacefully go to the Capitol door or something like that. I don't know what the exact quote was, but he like basically insinuated for people to go over there. And then when people started rioting, it took him like 4 hours to say anything that was actually denouncing it and saying that they shouldn't. Like everything was kind of like dancing around the bush, like he was trying to keep it going but also say something to stop people from getting mad at him.
Well, I don't know. When your like most devoted followers are doing something you don't want them to, I imagine it is kind of you're trying to find a way not to lose that part of your voter base, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I it's been a while, to be honest. I don't remember a lot of the circumstance of it. I just remember sitting in the garage
Yeah,
and
I was
getting
there.
a text. Hey, Ethan was there, and getting a text message that something
I think
like
it was from
they're
Jackson,
storming
from
the
you.
Capitol.
Yeah, we
it
were
was me.
sitting
And we were
there.
like,
and
what?
you
I
sent
said they're
Jackson
storming the
reading a
Capitol.
And
text.
no
Talk.
context.
Yeah.
Like we thought like there was like a terrorist attack going on. Like
I mean, basically,
I'm talking in the
they're
sense of like people with AKs coming into
And
the Capitol
yeah,
and like
I mean,
not
ARs
like
is pretty
not
close.
not a group of like relatively disorganized, confused hillbillies walking to the Capitol building like just casually. We're talking about like storming like a bunch of guys with a plan,
like we're talking like a lot of
like the
casualties here. Like
Taliban.
you insinuate like the way you spoke about it insinuated there was like an organized attack.
I thought people were going. I thought people were
Well,
going
yeah,
to get
at the
shot.
time, it definitely
It
looked
was
like something was
definitely-
going on.
I
there
saw
was
the
a
pictures of
fatality,
men
I
standing
mean-
around with ARs strapped to their backs and American flags and Trump flags waving over the Capitol building, and I thought they're going to kill every single person in that Capitol building. They're going to mow down the entirety of the United States, like Capitol
Democratic
body,
Party. Yeah.
I don't know,
and
most
they're
people
going
don't
to
wanna pull the
instill
trigger on
Donald
something
Trump
like
as
that.
their authoritarian dictator.
I don't think that was well.
That's kind of a radical.
Initially, and I don't know. When I saw it, I was just surprised that they got that far in. Like I figured it'd be much more.
Even they climbed
airtight.
over the freaking wall.
Well, I know, but I just figured that something as important as our Capitol building would have been more secure.
It took them like 2 hours to get the National Guard there.
I
Well,
know,
I mean,
and it's
I
like
imagine
I
a lot of
figured
the
yeah.
a lot of the measures are probably more designed at like a hostile armed attack
true.
kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to start
Remember
shooting
those?
into a crowd of
Yeah.
people
That would
who
have
are,
caused.
to be fair,
way
like
worse.
relatively peaceful initially, right?
Yeah.
Well, whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Oh,
right?
whatever that.
That would
thing.
have been like Boston Massacre stuff or something.
I mean,
like
because
that. I'd
then, I
probably
mean,
be saying
especially
the
when
same
everybody
way.
in the crowd has got, well, not everybody, but when certain members of the crowd
Presumably certain members
are armed, right?
Yeah.
You really don't want to.
And there's a man with like a pelt on his head.
That guy. I remember the pictures of that guy.
The horn, yeah.
The horned guy.
He had
What
like
I mean-
the Cossack.
That's not what that is.
No, I just mean he had like the fur hat, right? With the
The
never
raccoon tail
mind.
hat.
It's like
Oh.
the American
Like
backwoods kind of
pilgrim
hat.
thing.
I honestly don't know. That's like a very specific
I
hat
associate it
'cause
with
it's not
pilgrims. At
really.
least in my mind. Yeah.
I always think about like the tall, like the Puritan hat, like the black hat with the belt buckle on it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, man.
I don't know.
My feelings were like my heart sunk when I saw the video of that security guard getting like pulled into the crowd and like trampled on and beat up. I was like, oh man, this country is just going to shit. There's no coming back from this. I mean, we
And
obviously
then New Hampshire
have.
seceded.
And then New Hampshire
Hampshire
seceded, right? Yeah.
secedes.
Like not 3 years later. It's only been like a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, something
Right?
like that.
Yeah.
January 6th,
Because that was
right?
January
Wasn't that the day?
2021, right?
Yeah. It's only been a year and a bit.
Year and a bit. Look at that. And we've come so far, right?
Kind
Well,
of.
not really.
We might have taken a few steps back, couple steps forward. We're still a little behind.
I don't know. I everything's kind of up in the air
Everything's
right now.
going.
Yeah, maybe one day they'll look back at it and it'll be that'll be like the first indicator of the like the collapse. I hope not.
Oh man.
You believe in the American Caesar theory? It's
I
like
don't know this theory.
it's the drawing the comparison between the United States and the Roman Empire, and that as the Roman Empire gradually declined, there were moments where it seemed like it was going to collapse, and then a single individual, normally a general, temporarily takes power using the military and restore and it cleanses, right? He I guess it doesn't have to be he, right, in the United States, but they come in and they
Nice politically correct.
no, I
there.
was just yeah. You get the idea. They come in, they fix things, and then they restore democracy, and then you get
Yeah.
like an extra 30 years out of your state, and then you have to do it again, or else it.
What would you say there's been something
An
like that at
American
all?
Caesar?
Because I don't know.
Maybe
The
like
only person
FDR.
FDR, really?
Well, just because he was there for like a while, they kept voting him in, and he probably would have won the post-war election as well.
Well, I don't know, because I mean, when you say the American Caesar, like the taking charge with the military, that's not really FDR.
No, but I'm just like, if we're looking for like,
Government.
Well, I guess the
I was a
problem
little
is that you
concerned
looked at
about
the meme community for your.
Well, it wasn't like it was like the soldiers were saying things in these groups. Like it wasn't like people just making memes. It was like a place for them to have communicated.
Sure.
on
I mean,
whole.
I didn't
because
even.
there was like a really
I
big
really did not
concern that
think
there was
that was
going to
gonna
be another
happen.
like a storm the Capitol V2 on the inauguration day.
Yeah.
I didn't
really fixed it.
I did not see it happening, to be fair.
I saw the potential. I was a little nervous about it.
I don't know. I never was nervous about it. I didn't see it as something that would realistically happen.
Hmm.
Just because, I mean,
There
at the end
isn't
of the
a
day,
yeah.
well, if you want to go ahead, I mean,
No, you finish your thoughts. Okay.
I was gonna say at the end of the day, like the people who would be doing it, like they proclaim themselves as patriotic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, and I'm not saying that's a bad or a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of goes in line with being like not trying to overthrow the like democratic process of
Yeah.
the country that they like so much,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I didn't, I mean, I just saw it as something so contrary to what they believe in that it just wouldn't happen, right? Except maybe like some kind of fledgling thing of like 15 people, right?
Well, I believe, if I remember correctly, the concern was because Trump was pushing, and I imagine still pushes, the voting was rigged
Mm-hmm.
thing, that a lot of people were just going to try and like they were going to try to overthrow the current establishment because they thought Trump never lost. Because
There's still
that was the
people
big
that think that he
concern.
didn't lose.
Yeah,
I
that
see people with Trump didn't lose, Biden's not my president, like slapped to the back of their trucks every day.
Well, I mean, at the same time, to play the devil's advocate, they said the same thing when he won. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is now.
yeah,
As far as
people are so untrusting nowadays.
yeah, but they've got
And I
kind of a good
feel
reason
like
to be.
the parties are more like at each other's necks than they have been in a long time,
Well, yeah.
which is
I
kind
mean,
of upsetting to me a little bit. I kind of would like to see a more unified country a little bit,
would be
but
nice.
well,
we're only growing further and further apart. And
yeah.
it's not like some it's not like in back in the old days of the Civil War when, people of like mind were all together. It's like completely dispersed among the
Well,
population at this point. I mean, cities and stuff
Yeah.
are more democratic, but I mean, almost every rural area, I mean, there's probably definitely a lot of rural areas that aren't, but most of the rural areas in the United States are Republican. And I mean, it just, if there was, there's not a way that the country, if it was to fall apart, could fall apart cleanly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so dispersed. It wouldn't be like a Mason Dixon line kind of
Yeah.
thing. It would be
to be fair, that wasn't.
try
That was
to
pretty dispersed too,
well,
to a
yeah,
certain
but not
extent.
as dispersed. I mean, most of the
Yeah.
people in the Union were not for slaves.
Well, you had people that went over to either
Hmm.
side from other
Yeah, it
places.
was enough to be feasible to do that.
Yeah. And
But
all
like
things.
right now, would
Yeah.
not be feasible to like switch sides. Like that just wouldn't be
Well, I
a
mean, you could definitely have. I mean, if you're going like the conservatives and liberals, heaven forbid, decide they're going to go to war with each other. I don't see why you couldn't have somebody living in a rural area, like say in like Virginia. I don't know, something not too far in the south. Why if they're more inclined towards the liberal side, why they can't go over to the nearest city if that's the
Mhm.
argument
Well,
that's being made
no,
that the cities will be.
that's not what Jackson's saying. He's saying that, like, regardless of where you are in the country, you have a situation where the cities are inherently more democratic than the rural areas. So you'll have that situation in Virginia where they just go over the border, but everywhere. In
Well,
in the
yeah,
deep
yeah.
south, where do the hundreds of millions of people in the deep south who are not pro whatever they're doing, who are like the more liberal, where do they go? Are they prisoners of war? Do they leave? Do they
Well, I
start
don't know.
like an
I imagine there's
uprising.
a certain amount of people that, if that were to happen, probably wouldn't do anything, right? They just try and keep living life, right?
Mhm.
Then they get like pulled out into the streets.
Well, I don't know. It depends
Yeah.
on
There's a
on
good amount of
how
people
bad
that
it
would pull
gets.
people into the streets.
We're getting.
I could
Yeah.
see it happening in this country.
Well,
I think in certain like vocal areas, or
I
if
could
they're
see.
particularly racist people.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Mhm.
certain deep south places, and also actually like probably inner city places too,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably.
are very inclined towards that kind of thing. If they're, though, then again, that's all super theoretical and
Oh, of course.
skeptical, and
This
I
is all
really hope we
theoretical at
don't
this
ever
point.
figure out if that's true or not.
Mhm.
All right, place your bets. Are they
Place
gonna
my
run into
bets.
this person's apartment building and pull out people? Starting on 100 for apartment B1.
Well, I feel like if it's apartment B1, no, I don't know.
Geolocate all of the liberals. Pull them out of their apartments.
I feel like if the American the Americas had a second civil war, if we saw someone, a foreign speaking person with a news crew and a camera on the scene recording it, and we'd beat the hell out of them. Like,
Oh,
they'd be
definitely.
those like just get the hell out. It's not for your entertainment.
like that would be
we
a
would
more.
feel it.
Well, I don't know, because
This is our conflict. Get the heck out of here.
well, I don't know how it'd be in the U.S., but anywhere else something like that happens, like
It doesn't happen. I just
it
feel like in
doesn't
the
happen.
U.S.
I don't
it would be
know.
it would be a very
I think if any foreign country tried to intervene in any way, they'd probably get a lot of pushback.
I just mean if I'm like thinking of like outskirts of city war zone situation like in Ukraine, and there's some British guy from the BBC standing there talking about it, and a bunch of like Southerners walk up and they're just like, no, and they beat the crap out of him.
We took this country back from you in 1776. You ain't allowed back here.
I have no idea what that even meant. Oh, because the Revolutionary War. Right.
Yes, you nut.
I get it.
God.
I feel like there'd just be a really big double standard there that we haven't really seen. Or people would be so confused that they actually would be like, oh, hey, look, it's a camera. Go have a chat.
Be
No,
like that,
I think it'd initially be super confusing. I doubt. I mean, if that kind of a conflict were to break out, I highly doubt it would be organized outside of a select few areas initially.
Mm-hmm. It'd probably just be
It'd be organized where it
conservatives
started.
brandishing the weapons that they cling so dearly to, and the liberals don't have weapons.
I was gonna say,
Are
Jackson,
not
you're kind of
They're
more
helpless.
liberal, but you cling pretty
I definitely cling to
desperately to
I
yours.
love my weapons. Yes, all of my. I swear, if someone tried to take my guns, I'd be very upset. I mean, I wouldn't like do the whole like, if you try to take my gun, I'll shoot you with it thing. I'm not like, I'll just, protest it in court or whatever. But like, a good portion of the liberal community doesn't have weapons, but most conservatives do, and I'm
No,
pretty sure it'd be fairly one-sided for like the populace fighting. Military fighting, on the other hand, I have no clue.
it depends on whether the
Depends on
military comes in
which
to put down the uprising or if they end up joining
and which
it.
side the military's on too.
Well,
Because
I
that's another
imagine
thing. Which
they'd
side's the military
initially
gonna be on?
they'd initially be on like the classic preserving the union
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
stance.
It
But we
depends
also
if
got to
it's a
think. I
military
mean,
coup.
That's true. If it's a
Mm-hmm.
military coup, it's
Or
it's pretty
mean,
obvious what side they're on, right?
in this
because you
day
have
and
to have
age,
military support.
the military is like way more powerful than any little group of civilians could just stop. I mean,
That's true. A lot of them are overseas, though. To be
Yeah.
fair,
but I mean, there's also a lot of equipment in the U.S. still. I mean,
you
it's
can
not
go
like.
seize the local arsenal
I guess that's true.
if you're going that route. I don't know. I have no idea how. It really depends on how thought out any resistance to that kind of thing would be, and it probably wouldn't be. It'd probably be a big shock if there was a military coup, at least in this day and age.
Yeah.
We're very lucky in that the U.S. hasn't existed long enough for there to be like smaller elements of secession. Like, we're only just getting to the point where California is developing, like in the last 100 years, we're getting to a point where California has developed a culture that could be considered unique compared to the East Coast. Whereas originally it was either a frontier land or it was the exact same.
Yeah.
And we're like, as long as both sides are saying that they want what's best for the United States and are not saying they want best for themselves, we're in the clear. We're good. It's not we're not going to have like a big issue like that.
Well,
Because
if we're going to talk about that, I'd say that the conservatives are quite a bit more patriotic than the liberals are.
Well, but no one wants, like, what are the everyone wants America, right? There hasn't been a valid proposal of any other successor state that could be rallied behind presently.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to
Hampshire is
jinx it.
not.
I don't want someone to come up tomorrow and say, like, oh, yeah, the Pacific Northwest or whatever, the Union.
The New
Pacific
Hampshire
Socialist Union.
Concord,
Yeah. The Soviet Hampshire.
Soviet Hampshire.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd be communist?
I don't know.
Is that what we're-
I'm just throwing something out there.
Oh man.
Maybe
If the
maybe
US
Taylor
did fall
Greenor
apart.
secede.
If the US did fall apart, what political structure do you think it would fall under?
Oligarchy,
Probably.
like
Or
some sort of,
very very
democracy.
Yeah.
authoritarian.
Yes.
Whoever
Either.
has the biggest gun.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is the army, right?
Carry
I
a bigger
mean,
stick, right?
At least initially.
I don't know. There is the problem of if you get like a asymmetrical war situation, it'll go on for 20 years and it'll never ever end. Because there's so much more space in the US to hide in and do that kind of stuff that it could just go on forever and ever.
I think the most realistic depiction of a American like collapse of government is the federal, like, there ends up either it's like the state elections, probably the federal, like the presidential elections. If if the presidential elections draw no candidate and someone and there draws enough like a protest around the Capitol where the US military has to step in, and let's say like the current president or the president incumbent is like shot or killed or something, and then martial law, and then from that point, that's the beginning. The US is no more. From that point on, I think it was the collapse of the empire, right? It's never going to be the same. And I think that's a fairly realistic, reasonable set of things where it's like very small, very regional, but it has a very broad impact, right? So it would be like Capitol riots if it escalated a lot more, right? If they did fire into the crowd, and then you have entire legions of conservative paramilitary people showing up there, right? And then like if Biden gets shot or something in the process, military has to step in, quell everything. And then the president, and then they're dead, and then you have to rely on the chain of command and lines of succession for whatever, and then it all goes to hell. I don't know. Confident.
I wonder to what extent if you knock, like, if the incoming president gets shot, right, and the other, like, whoever is president is probably nowhere to be found, right? I wonder who how
The
can you
vice
get the like
president would
what
step up.
chain of command to bring the military there to enforce
Yeah,
martial law exists? Because I don't
that's-
know.
That's sort of what I'm saying. It would just get everything would be so confusing. It would get lost, and then people would die, and things would be really bad. And then, I mean, if Russia declaring war on Ukraine saw a major drop in like the stock market and stuff, if that happened domestically, I mean, that would cause a global collapse of the economy. And if something like that happened, I mean, I believe in the Capitol riots, there was even a little dip in
Yeah.
stocks and stuff as like a crisis of confidence sort of thing.
It definitely would have a big economic impact. I don't know about complete collapse of the entire world economy, though.
I just mean it would be like 2008 at least, if not worse.
Yeah. That was an interesting time. Gosh. We were so young. We really didn't understand what was going on.
No.
Yeah, no.
Man. Well, this has been lovely.
Yeah, I know. Really got into
Wonderful little
some politics there.
Heavy.
We did.
Yeah.
Touching on some more deep feelings today.
We started with talking about stuff in the water and got to
Ended up
Civil War.
war.
Dang
Yeah.
War never changes.
it. Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a pleasure having you here.
My
Yeah.
pleasure.
See you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye. Love you
Bye.
lots.
Free New Hampshire.
One more.